I wonder how the Philadelphia Eagles are going to respond to losing the Super Bowl. What's their rebound year look like? Nobody has won the NFC East in back-to-back years since actually Philly did it 4 years in a row from 2001 until 2004. Could they go on another run and win the division multiple years in a row? 18 years in a row, a different team has won the NFC East. It feels like streaks were made to be broken. This could be the year that a team finally ends that, streak. But, Philly did lose both of their coordinators. They became head coaches. I'm curious how that's going to impact Philly. Their new defensive coordinator, Sean Desai from Seattle. Brian Johnson was promoted internally from quarterback coach to offensive coordinator. I'm just really interested in that. How does their new coordinator situation impact their year? They lost running back Miles Sanders. He went to Carolina with a bigger contract. They did bring in some solid replacements at running back, though. They traded for running back DeAndre Swift from Detroit. They signed running back Rashad Penny. And they also brought in a new backup quarterback, Marcus Mariota, Hawaii guy, love that, who is really solid. In case Jalen Hurts goes down for a game or two, I think Marcus Mariota can step in with a lot of great players around him and do a really good job. It's crazy how Philadelphia always finds a way to reload, and they lost Gardner Minshew, their backup quarterback, to Indy. They bring in Marcus Mariota. They honestly got better even at backup quarterback. You're like, wow, that's incredible. This team is absolutely loaded in Philadelphia. They've got a great group of receivers catching passes. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins. They've got Dallas Goedert at tight end. They've got an underrated backup tight end, Dan Arnold, that I love. You could really make a strong argument, and I guess I will, that Philly got better this offseason. It pretty much, every hole that was created by players leaving in free agency got filled. And, gosh, you love filling holes, guys. Filling holes is always good. Can I say that? Whatever. I'm going to move forward, and we can all be adults about it. They lost two key linebackers. They lost Kazir White and TJ Edwards. They left. They brought in Nicholas Morrow, linebacker. They also, Nakobe Dean, their second-year linebacker, could start at middle linebacker. He was a third-round pick last year out of Georgia on that incredible 2021 defense. They also signed Miles Jack to compete with Nakobe Dean. So at linebacker, they're solid. They replaced that problem. It's funny. TJ Edwards went to Chicago from Philly, and they signed Nicholas Morrow from Chicago. So in a weird way, they didn't trade linebackers with Chicago, but they got good value, and they did like a free agency swap. It's kind of funny how that works. Now, the number one question in Philly is their number 2 safety spot. They lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Marcus Epps. They brought in Terrell Edmonds at safety. And their other safety, Reed Blankenship, is a guy who's unproven. He's going into his second year in the NFL, but he's got potential. We'll see what he can do. But Reed Blankenship is probably, you could argue, the weakest link on this entire Eagles football team. They've got 3 really good corners in Philly. You've got James Bradbury, Darius Slay, and Grady Williams. I like that. Defensive tackle, Javon Hargrave left to San Francisco. That was a problem until they responded by drafting defensive tackle Jalen Carter, number 9 overall, out of Georgia. That's an incredible move, man. You get another really good defensive tackle on a rookie contract. You can pay him less money. It's amazing how they just always find a way to reload every year in Philly. There's a reason why they're viewed as the team with the best GM in all of football. It's pretty incredible what they do year in and year out. Now, Philly has a really good offensive line. They did lose guard Isaac Seumalo to Pittsburgh. Seumalo, excuse me. And we're hoping that second-year guard Cam Jurgens can step up and fill the void there and become truly a really good starting guard. So I guess, Cam Jurgens and Reed Blankenship are probably the 2 biggest, most unproven question marks in Philly. But the front 7 on Philly's defense is absolutely incredible. It's just loaded with great players. In fact, Philly actually invested 2 first-round picks in this year's draft on their front 7 on defense. They drafted number 9 overall, already talked about him, defensive tackle Jalen Carter. They also drafted a pass rusher, number 30 overall, Nolan Smith from Georgia. 2 guys from Georgia, the Georgia defense playing in Philadelphia, basically. They just get better and better, man. And I didn't think they were going to get a player like Nolan Smith, number 30 overall. That's a crazy draft pick. It's really awesome. And on their defensive line, their pass rush, they've got so much depth. It's incredible. They've got Brandon Graham, Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox. Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick, Nolan Smith. It's crazy how much talent they have on their front seven, getting after the quarterback on their defensive line. And to me, just the Eagles are unreal. I mean, I've barely even mentioned their quarterback, Jalen Hurts. That's how good this football team is. They've got a quarterback who can run, who can throw, who was amazing last year, threw 22 touchdown passes, ran for 13 touchdowns. That's more than a lot of running backs ran for. He only had 6 interceptions, 0 fumbles lost last year. That means he only had 6 turnovers all year last year. A guy who was running and throwing the football all over the field. It's incredible, man. I think Philly is easily and obviously the best team in all of football. I have the Eagles going 13-4 this year. I feel strongly about that. The Eagles are the team to beat in the NFL. You know, KC won the Super Bowl, but Philly's a better football team. Philly is unbelievable how good they are. And again, they're a team that lost the Super Bowl last year and just found a way to get even better. And I just really have a lot of admiration and respect for what they're doing in Philly. It's incredible, and they could go back to the Super Bowl this year. I have them going 13-4. And again, I think Philly is the best team in all of football.